Hello there. This is my final journey presentation for Chubb's very own management program. I was fortunate enough to meet great people, to expand my horizon, and to acquire useful tools that help me in my everyday work. The task of this video is to summarize what I and what I think other participants have learned throughout the past 6 months. So let us dive right in. Preparation is important. Currently, I am as prepared as it gets. The presentation is working, so let us first focus on the key learnings for myself. For example, I had an epiphany when I learned how overrated voice, content, and visual aspects in comparison to body language is. This leads me right to the next aspect: cultural differences in perception and language. For me, especially the sticky situation got stuck in my head. Also, each and every time I was in London, I realized that not only words but also temperature could be perceived very differently. And while we are talking about language, we have to tackle the topic of birds and bees as well. Actually, only birds. Doves, owls, eagles, and peacocks to be specific. While this does not mirror true owl behavior. An eye-opener was the parent-adult-child behavior of the transactional analysis. And let me be frank, I'm tempted every day to succumb to all of those behaviors. I know myself too good to think I'm above petty convicts. So you could say, in terms of my Johari window, it is no longer a blind spot to me, and I can work on that until it becomes unconscious competence to not succumb to such fuzzy behavior. I know I should do that, but I don't want to. You see what I did there? The first part of the sentence became obsolete as soon as I said but. Another great takeaway from this program. In the end, communication is the most complex challenge there is known to humans. Let me come back to this topic later on. Last but not least, the 4Ds had probably the most effect on me. And I apologize if we are now expecting a picture of boobies and a flat joke on double Ds, but this is not how I work. Let us move on to the topic: which key aspects other participants of the Chubb management program have taken from the workshops. And for that, let me circle back to the birds. While the true identity of this robin is most likely a peacock, I was under the impression that the concept of the behavioral styles had a lot of impact on all of us. Birds also showed us why people communicate in a certain way and why some of our managers act the way they do. It is important to realize that such behavior, how unnerving it may seem, has nothing to do with us personally, unless we really screwed up. Communication is key. I think that all of us have sharpened their saw in line with Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People when it comes down to act. This is one way to do it, but we all know that to act truly means to acknowledge, communicate limits, and transform to achieve better results. So let us always be mindful of the language we use, because sometimes also the things we say can be misleading. The loop of situation, behavior, and impact proved very useful for us, as this tool enables us to grow as a person. This maximizes the chances that all aspects of a possible solution are checked, and not only the will of a single person is implemented, while the needs of the many are ignored. We were all very impressed by the topic of digitalization and the impact that this technology will have on our business. To wrap this presentation up, I conclude that my participation has made me strong as a person. The key takings from the Pareto effect, the frog, eustress, sumo, and paralyze by overanalyze made me also more efficient. Here are the missing 20%. In case you wonder, when does this guy sleep? Here is one of the two possible answers. This concludes my final presentation. I so thank you for your time, your attitude, your positive feedback, and your open mind. I very much appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe, and I hope to be able to stay in touch. See you soon.